Brad,
any limitations on Avery?
Probably won't play him normal minutes, but nothing that has been communicated. The reason being is he hasn't done any live practice, and obviously hasn't done any live games in I guess over a month now. So it'd be hard just to, for the first time, go out on the court and play live.
What do you usually engage?
Just 5-on-0, just shooting drills. Just he's moving pretty well, but he felt really good. Reconfirmed or conferred with Doc McKeon today, and was given the green light to go ahead. He's not going to start for us, and again, part of that is bringing him back easy from a minute standpoint. And I found it when we first brought Rondo back, and he was with that minute limitation. It was hard to manage that. It was hard to balance that. Starting the game a little bit easier off the bench.
Bayless will start?
Bayless will start. Same starting lineup.
Just how strange it's been not having what you thought would be your starting backcourt basically the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get to see that quite a bit in the last month here or so. I think, obviously, knock on wood, because they haven't been able to play much together over the first 4 years they've been together. So, I think it's really a duo that you would think would complement each other very well based on the strengths on both ends of the court. So, hopefully we'll see that again with a healthy month left in the season.
Do you anticipate that Avery will be able to get back to 100% before the season's over?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think he would have been given the go-ahead to go if he wasn't. They didn't think he was physically ready and able. It's just a matter of, again, it's not a year off, but it is a month off of playing live basketball of any kind. So, the first time he gets up and down with 4 other guys on the court and another team on the court will be in live game action.
You talked about Rondo not playing necessarily in back-to-backs, or in the second game of back-to-backs for the rest of the year. Is that just precautionary the whole way? You guys wanted to just kind of lift that from under his head?
So that is just kind of, as I've looked at the schedule, that has been my best guess. So it's I don't know that it is 100% that will be the case, but the way that he's felt day after games has again just kind of been general soreness, and he is getting back into a nice rhythm right now. And I think the biggest thing is building on that as we move forward too. So certainly if there's soreness, or if there's not, if he wakes up and feels great one day, there's nothing precluding him from saying, hey, I'm going to give it a run tonight. But it would be him, the trainers, and everybody else getting together and saying.
Was it good to see Trip today?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Mike Kaltenmark had planned that trip up here, and it was fun to see him in here, and he came by the office and went out on the floor for a minute and did what he does. He just finds his way into buildings, and he's it's funny. I used to tell a story when we had camp at Butler, and this was before Trip. This was Blue too, but so we served the pizzas. My wife and I would serve the pizzas at lunch, and this lady came in with her daughter, and they were visiting Butler, and they thought they were maybe going to go to school there, and she said, "Don't you look familiar?" And I was like, "Just serving pizzas at camp." And she said, "Do I know you?" And I said, "I don't know." And I said, "What's your name?" She goes, "Anyways, where do they keep that dog?" So that was all of our places at Butler. We were clearly on the next level. So it was nice of them to come up and visit us. I know you just heard my kids walk by. I know they're going to spend some quality time with him, that's for sure.
Brad, for a player coming back from an injury, what's the biggest difference when they can get live action prior to playing and when they can't?
Well, in college, you'd have a couple of days to prepare and you'd get some live action. Here, you don't. It would have been great if we could have practiced yesterday and gone live. We had 10 people that played, or 10 people healthy to play on Wednesday night. Couldn't practice yesterday after a back-to-back. So I thought we were a little gassed Wednesday night as it was, as far as after the game. I thought we looked tired after the game was over. So it was, you still have to prioritize those other guys in the collective group as a whole, but it would have been nice to have been able to do something. He got in a good workout with our strength and conditioning people and did all that he could. But now it's just, it's a little bit of trial by fire coming back, and hopefully he'll, be like riding a bike, he'll come right back into it.
What part of the game do you think that, if he did get a live practice, is it his shooting would have a little less
I
rust?
think the biggest thing is you'd be huffing and puffing after the first couple of minutes on the court. You're getting back into that level of activity, and it is a challenge to get back into that level of activity, no matter how highly conditioned you are.
Coach, I believe the Suns team benches 5th in the league in bench scoring. How do you think the combination of Kelly Olynyk and Jared Sullinger, and then now having Avery, that defense will be able to hold them?
Well, their bench scoring just went up too because Bledsoe's back, and so that automatically either moves him or somebody else to the bench. And so they're a really well-balanced team, and like we said the first time, the biggest thing that I see with the Suns is they can either shoot it or really get it to the rim. And that is all the way down their roster, and so it's a real challenge for us. And I think that Kelly and Jared will continue to get great opportunities, but this one will challenge them in a lot of similar ways to the New York one, because you're going to have to guard spread guys in Channing Frye and Marcus Morris and Markieff Morris, and guys that shoot it just as well as they do anything else.
Coach, the Suns are at the bottom of the league in assists, but yet you're the top in scoring. How do you explain it?
Well, it's an interesting stat. I think, first of all, Goran Dragic can get his own shot. Eric Bledsoe can get his own shot. You can post Markieff Morris, who they isolate a lot, post P.J. Tucker, who they isolate a lot, get their own shots. So those are things that, and Green obviously can too. They'll post him as well. So it is interesting that they would be that way, because they do have a lot of guys that do play well off others shooting the basketball. And I should have included Ish Smith in that too. Got a lot of guys that can get to the rim and make their own plays, but they also share it. So I was kind of surprised when I first saw that yesterday that was their number.
Plus 1